Okay, so Miko was hit by a car. Lord have mercy on the souls of those who date in Miami. But it was amazing. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I watched a get ready with me that I did at the beginning of, I think it was 2020. Thought it would be a good video because a lot has changed. I thought it'd be nice to put it all in like one video for future me who doesn't remember any of this stuff. So if you're interested, you can keep watching. If you don't really care, I get that. Oh, this goes better with this. Anyway, okay, so in that last video I made, I was talking about like dating and stuff, which Lord have mercy on the souls of those who date in Miami, because it is not for the weak. Might as well start with that because that's the first thing that I remember talking about in that video. I think it's dreadful. Like, I've met some of the scum of the earth dating in that city. However, now I met the love of my life on Hinge in that atrocious, awful city to date in. So it is possible. Dating in Miami is like probably one of the worst experiences I've ever participated in my life. It's awful, and anybody who lives there and who's doing it, Godspeed. This is like actually something that I said and I lived by that year. I wanted 1 year in my 20s that wasn't ruined by dating. I can look back previously, all the years in my 20s, and just think about how a guy made me feel in that year, and how like I was just really out there trying to find the love of my life, and I was just finding all these awful, awful, awful human beings. Because prior to that, I didn't date when I was younger, so I didn't date when I was a teenager. When I moved to Miami when I was in my early 20s, that's when I first started dating. It was awful, but I decided the year that I was 26, and I decided that year was the year that I was graduating with my master's. I was actually taking my mom on my first trip, like big girl, you know. I took my mom to Croatia for her birthday. And then I was finally going to Japan that year. I was going on a solo trip to Japan for 1 month. I was like, this was set out to be the best year of my life. I'm not dating this year. Like, I don't care how bad I want to find the love of my life. And when you're 26, right, like type A, 26, you start thinking like, okay, at what point do I like freeze my eggs? You know? I had never been in a relationship, 26 years old. I was like, what are the odds that I meet someone soon, we date, we end up together, we want to have kids? Like, at what point do I just freeze my eggs? So at 26, I was already having like talks like that with my mom. And I was like, you know what? This year, I don't care about any of that. I'm done dating. I'm just going to take this year and have the best year of my life in my 20s. Like, have the best year. What prompted it is I feel like my mom and my sister always had like a year in their 20s that they were like, that was my year in my 20s. Like, that was the best year in my 20s. And I felt like I hadn't had that year yet. Like, every year I looked back on in my 20s was plagued by a man, whether that be family, an outside man that I was trying to date. It was always a man. So I really just wanted 1 year in my 20s that was for me, and that I could look back on and be like, oh, that was the year. So I was like, even if I have to force it, I'm gonna make this my year. And I did. 26 was incredible. I got my master's from the University of Miami. I kind of want to make another video on for people who are in like college and how I navigated college, because I didn't really have any outside help. My mom like didn't know much about universities and stuff like that, and so I just didn't have any like parental guidance or like guidance from anybody. So it was a lot of figuring out on my own, and I think I have a lot of things to say to like young people who are kind of like trying to navigate for themselves also. I have a lot to say on that topic. But anyway, yeah, I graduated with my master's. I took my mom to Croatia. I went to Japan for a month, and then I started my first corporate job that next January. To the point of dating, 26, I ended up actually meeting my current boyfriend, which is why I'm in Singapore, at the end of 26. So picture this. I was alone in Japan. I had just gone to South Korea for a few days and I had come back. I realized in South Korea that everybody was like coupled up. It was like close to the holidays, like maybe it was in my head, but I swear everybody was with somebody. But I was like, yeah, I'm feeling kind of lonely. Like, it's towards the end of my trip. I was in my hotel room in Japan and I was like, maybe let's just see what's happened on Hinge this last year, since I've been having the time of my life, traveling the world. Like, let's just see. So I downloaded Hinge. I know a lot of people are like anti-Hinge. They like want to meet someone naturally, which by all means, like, you should do that if that's what you want to do. But I was never, like, I liked vetting people before I had to meet them in person. I liked that, especially because I'm an introvert. I didn't go out much, so the chances of me meeting someone out and about were slim. The only places that I really went to were like the gym, and I didn't really think that that was gonna happen for me at a gym because I don't make myself like available to people when I was at the gym, you know, like headphones in, like I'm putting on the face that's like, don't talk to me, I'm here to work out. So like that's not where I was about to meet someone. So yeah, anyway, downloaded Hinge. I was just wanting to see what has popped up in the last year that I've been away, you know, any new additions to the app. It was Miami, you know, everybody was moving there. Like, since COVID, there's like a new batch of Hinge people every other week. There's like new people because it was like booming since COVID. So I was like, okay, you know, like, let's just see what's happening on here. And within the first night, I came home from a night out in Shinjuku. I had gone shopping in Shinjuku. I was like having the time of my life. I went back to the hotel room and I was like, oh, I'm about to go home in a couple days. Like, let's just see. Within like the first hour of me downloading it, I matched with Eric. I didn't date the whole year because I was just like, you know what? No, like, this is gonna be my year. And then towards the end of the year, I was like, you know what? The year's essentially over. You know, my birthday's in March. Like, basically 26, I could still look back on 26 and be like, yeah, this was the time of my life. So, and I matched with Eric and we actually went on our first date when I got back in December. And yeah, I got back, and the crazy thing is, when I got back from Japan, I obviously loved it. Like, I knew I would. I've been wanting to go since I was really, really, really little. I always thought I would go with my grandma, but of course that wasn't gonna happen because she passed away when I was 12. So unfortunately I didn't get to experience it with her, which I think would have been once in a lifetime. And I still really wish I could have, but that's okay, she was with me in spirit. I got back from that trip and like at the time I was still working in the accounting department at my school, and I remember going back and saying to like my boss and like all the professors like, oh, I will move to Asia. Like, I loved it, maybe not Japan, but I will like work abroad. Like, that will happen for me. Like, that's gonna be something that I strive towards. And everybody was like, okay, yeah, because like, you know, as an accountant in the US, we follow completely different accounting rules than like every other country. So like, to be an accountant isn't really something that you end up traveling abroad to do. So everyone was kind of like, okay, yeah, sure, that's not gonna happen for you, but okay. That's January, right? Eric and I start dating February, end of February. Valentine's was like the most incredible Valentine's, and I'll never forget how special he made it, but it was amazing. Beginning mid-March, Eric got the offer in Singapore, and that's when we had to decide like where our relationship was. Like, very soon in our relationship did we decide we both knew that it was forever, and now I'm in Singapore. So yeah, that's how that happened. Super crazy. But if you would have told, like, 26 was so confusing of a year, because within that year, I remember that was the first year I was seriously considering like what did I need to do. Like, next year I turned 27, like maybe end of my 20s is like time to freeze my eggs. Like, I've never been in a relationship. I want to have like all the options available to me. Like, one day I want to have kids, and maybe I haven't met someone. So yeah, going from that to 1 year later meeting the love of my life, actually getting to move to Asia within months of meeting him, this opportunity comes up. It's like, whoever's out there working behind the scenes, they were really putting the work in. And I know when I was watching my video, I watched it yesterday. I was 22 years old. I remember the first year I was at UM, I had met this guy at an Art Basel event, and he, if the 22-year-old now could see 28-year-old me, she would be so happy. Like, I'm gonna cry, because like, it was really, really hard. Like, college and all the things that happened in my personal life in college were so hard. Oh, my camera's dying, of course. Okay, if the angle has changed up a little bit, it's because I had to go change my battery and I don't know exactly where my camera was. It was very hard. College was not fun. Like, I didn't have the time of my life in college. Literally every aspect of college was hard. Putting in all that work, getting myself through school, getting degrees, double majoring in college, like in undergrad, all those things, all that work, I'm so proud of where I ended up. Everything has been going really, really, really good. So yeah, 22-year-old me, when I was watching that video, I couldn't stop smiling, because I was like, oh God, if oh, the sun's coming out. If she would have had an inkling about what was gonna happen in her life, she'd be so excited. So yeah, that's definitely what prompted me to make this video, because that was just like the best time of my life. And I'm still living the best time of my life, but now it's all sinking in that I'm in the best time of, like, probably not my life, but like, it's a really amazing part. This is like not ideal lighting, I know that, but it's okay. Whatever, it's kind of a vibe. It's so nice doing my makeup out in the natural light, because I've been doing it in a bathroom lately, and every time you do your makeup in the bathroom and you come out and you're like, whoa, that's not blended. Pretty sure in one of my last videos before I started uploading again, or like, yeah, one of my last videos before I started uploading again, someone congratulated me on getting into the business school. So yeah, I think so much has literally happened since that video. I ended up double majoring in undergrad, finance and accounting, and then I got my master's in taxation. Yeah, which I wasn't planning on doing, but then one thing led to another. Wanted to get my CPA. There was someone who was like, I will try to get you all the grants and like scholarships. So because he knew that I was paying by myself, I was taking out student loans to go to the University of Miami, which is an expensive school. I was like, no, I wasn't planning on staying another year for my master's. Maybe let's talk about my first corporate job since we're doing a life update. I ended up at my first job, which maybe let's not talk about it, because honestly I have nothing positive to say, so maybe it's just better to not say anything at all. But we could talk about Singapore. So let's talk about the process maybe of moving here. Basically, we moved for Eric's job, so because it's quite common in what he does, the people were like very helpful. Like, it's like when you decide like, yes, you're gonna move, they're like, okay, well, this is this person you talked to about this is this person you talked about this, and this will be the person who coordinates everybody. Luckily, it was very easy insofar as like the help we had. Basically didn't have to like figure out much. And I think the biggest pain was Mika, the Mika aspect, the moving a dog. That was the biggest pain. My God, I don't know if it's also because last year around the time we were supposed to be moving, she was hit by a car, and then we were dealing with like Okay, so Miko was hit by a car, Eric's boss quit, so like a bunch of stuff happened that it was like, okay, well now the move is delayed. It was delayed because the boss was quitting, but we were like, this is actually okay because she can't fly right now. So it all worked out in that sense, but the amount of vet visits you have to do when trying to move a dog to Singapore. I ended up going to another vet because of her injuries, and the dog sitter that was watching her took her to a vet like that was far from where we actually lived. But then I wanted to keep taking her back, establish rapport with her, and they like knew what was going on with her, so then I'd have vet stuff that I needed from them, which they were like an hour away. And then her vet that I've taken her to since we lived in Brickell, like I had that vet, and you have to get all these papers signed, and you have to get all these pain. It was just an absolute pain. It was nice though, because with his company there was someone for that too that was like helping us be like, oh, you still need this document, oh, we need this document signed, oh, this document isn't gonna go through, and you can't use an electronic signature, it needs to be in pen. But now she's living her best life in this beautiful apartment here in Singapore. But it's hot. Yes, love it here, love the MRT. I don't drive, never have, never will, hate it, extremely scared of it. And guess what you don't have to do here? Drive. You can't even do it here. It's so expensive for like an expat to drive here that it's not even like in question whether or not you were gonna drive here. It's amazing. And the MRT takes you everywhere, and it's so easy. I mean, I still take Grabs sometimes to go places, but for the most part, I love the MRT. And even the buses here are really easy to use. You know what's hilarious about this? This is on brand. If you've still followed me from way back when, first off, you're a trooper. Thank you. But if not, one of my most viewed videos on YouTube is like my braces video, like braces for the 3rd time. And then I have another one, braces versus Invisalign. That video did really well. And the hilarious part is I have to get braces or Invisalign again. And it's not for lack of not wearing a retainer or anything. I'm having really, oh, what was that? Contact fell out. Yeah, I'm having crowding issues, and I'm also having like I've had really bad jaw pain and migraines for a while now, so I'm going to get that looked at and fixed. So okay, we're gonna pretend that it's not like that. Trying overnight curl stuff, it's like going pretty good. The thing is, my hair doesn't hold a curl, so even when I use heat in it, it's kind of pointless. It like keeps a little bit of a little something something, but it's hard because I have to put it in for it to last even a little bit. I have to put it in when it's like 90% dry, so that it can like dry in that like wrapped format. But some nights, maybe it was 88% or 85% dry, and then it's still damp when I take it out, and then it's definitely not gonna hold the shape. But it can't be 100% dry, or again, it won't hold the shape. I have just realized I haven't said anything I've used on my face, but that's okay. I think my makeup skills have gone downhill since college. I haven't quite figured out how to do my makeup, but it is getting better. Like, I feel like I'm starting to know like my own colors again. Basically what prompted this video was the fact that I watched one of my old videos and I just couldn't stop smiling because I remember the guy that I was talking about. Basically, remember this guy. And watching that video of me being like, I don't know if anything's gonna happen, but like if nothing comes of it, we should be friends. I'm so naive. Oh, what do you know? It looks like it's gonna rain. Yes, we're done. I'm ready. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a like. If you like my content, maybe consider subscribing. As far as this video goes, I think we're done. Oh, the sun's coming back out. Bye.